and the wider Repton community, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your continued support. On behalf of the teachers at Repton, may I wish all of our students here a future that is filled with the attainment of your goals, one where you continue to be humble, grateful, adaptable and caring. I wish you all the very best of luck in your new and incredibly exciting ventures and adventures. I would now like to introduce our head students, Daphne Farb and Baraj Kohli, to the stage. Their speeches are a fitting for Year 13.
Ago, it was the fried chicken sandwich. 2 years later, it was the chicken sandwich. Then, the bolognese, and now, the vegetable burrito. What is next? What will the sandwich that all the current Year 7s order at the cafe in 2028? This idea that school, students, and even the cafe moves on without us always perplexed me. Life at Repton doesn't stop after we graduate? Are we really that insignificant? I would like to think that we aren't. But for this to be true, each one of us need to find a reason to be significant. We need to find our purpose. Charles Bukowski was a German-born writer that lived in the US. Although he is now remembered as one of the greats, it took years for him to get some success. Through hardship and failure after failure, he only really started achieving his goals in his 50s, perhaps when it seemed like it was starting to only be a dream. From someone who relentlessly worked to become a great writer and get recognition, there is something very peculiar about him. On his gravestone, he wrote, "Don't try." Although this may seem counterintuitive, what Bukowski was trying to convey was best said in his own words. When everything works best, it's not because you chose writing, but because writing chose you. It's when you're mad with it, when it's stuffed in your ears, nostrils, under your fingernails. It's when there's no hope but that. In order for us to find our purpose and make us significant, whether that is leaving our mark at Repton or in future endeavors, we need to find that something that we don't need to try to try. If we have to try to care about or want something, then perhaps we don't care or want it. Bukowski didn't reduce or modify his voice for the sake of someone or something else. It's not that he didn't try. It's that he didn't try to be someone that he wasn't. He tried to be a writer, but he didn't try to want to be a writer. I believe this lesson is very important. Although the process of finding this purpose may not come easy, if the pain and endurance of working through this process does not feel worth it, and if you are not compelled to do it even in the face of rejection or hardship, here, Bukowski might say, don't try. You might have heard the saying, if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. But I believe that if you are truly doing what you love, you will work harder than you have ever worked, harder than you have ever imagined. Find that thing. Find something that the thought of not doing it terrifies you. Teachers, parents, class of 2022, thank you for shaping us into the people we are today. As we now move through life and experience what we are yet to experience, remember, if you're going to try, go all the way. Thank you.
His Excellency, Mr. Khalid Al-Bahiri, Headmaster Mr. Cook, Vice Principal Mrs. Crowder, members of the eminent faculty, respected parents, and the class of 2022. Mark joined in IB1. He came from a school in South Africa with his younger brother Ton and his wonderful parents, one of whom we got to know fondly, Mrs. Schmidt. Mark, like any typical student, was anxious on his first day at Repton, especially with the pressures of the IB daunting upon him. His feet were landing upon unknown territory. Daphne joined in year 7. Coming from another school in Dubai, Daphne had to readjust to the new world of the senior school, of which requires a lot of courage. Alongside her younger sister and an older brother, the 3 siblings joined Repton with an open mind, ready to discover a new future. Hamad joined in nursery. One of Repton's first Emirati students, Hamad carried a lot of weight on his big shoulders. He had a reputation to maintain, one upheld by his ancestors before him. Indeed, a lot of pressure set upon a 3-year-old. But Hamad carried on being an honorable student. All 3 students bravely walked into the unknown. Mark, 2 years at school, Daphne first 6, and Hamad first 15. Paths crossing in perfect time. Students from 3 different paths who all shared similarities. Students who personify the diversity and uniqueness of our school. Regardless of how they came to Repton, they all shared their first steps walking into our arch. The arch, a door of opportunity which opens to keen students ready to seek a new learning. Now, as we sit here today, celebrating our successes, it is important to remember our paths that have brought us here together. We must remember that as students, our success began with a first step into Repton, which we walked alongside our teachers. Our teachers who guided us with glowing smiles, everlasting wisdom, and an unfailing patience. We cannot thank you enough. Every path to success must pass through the Repton Arch. As students, it is now on us to carry the fundamentals of excellence, integrity, and tolerance into the future. And we know we're all ready. Thank you very much.
I would now like to introduce our Emirati ambassador, Mariam Al-Fardan.
I was born in 2004. The start of my life correlated with the start of the presidential reign of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the passing of Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, Allah yarhamhu. In 2008, I joined Repton, a 4-year-old girl with pigtails and giant bows in her hair, in a school that was still under construction. During the same year, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum was appointed the Crown Prince of Dubai. Fast forward to now, standing before you as a 2022 graduate, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Allah yarhamah, has passed away recently, and his brother, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has taken his place as the president of the UAE. I know you may be wondering why I'm bringing up these past events, but as the Emirati ambassador and culture prefect, it was really interesting to see how these significant moments in our country's history lined up with my personal life. Each of these milestones were the start of a new chapter in my life as well as my country's. Our founding fathers took care of the first 50 years and have gone above and beyond for our country, and now I consider it my personal responsibility to take care of the rest. There are 9 female members of the UAE cabinet, and I have had the opportunity to speak to 3 of them in the past year. These women have accomplished so much for our country, and I hope to one day do the same. These are enormous shoes to fill, but I cannot wait to do so. Growing up alongside my school meant that when I was first rated outstanding in 2015, I entered the senior school feeling not so outstanding. I remember crying in year 7, thinking that the stress in schoolwork could not get any harder. It's laughable looking back now, which is what I imagined it would be like after university. An annual event I looked forward to each year was National Day. Every year since I could remember, on the week of the event, we would be taken out of class to see Miss Dina and practice our sponsor walk on stage. Every single year after practice, me and my friends would sneak off and watch the rest of the events being set up instead of returning to class. These are memories I'll never forget. That's why it's so meaningful to me that our last Repton National Day was on the 50th and our Golden Jubilee as well. I just want to take the time to thank her for bringing us so much excitement into our school during cultural events. Seeing students from schools across the UAE choosing to leave their school in order to take part in our celebrations year after year has brought us such pride and joy. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Graduating may seem like we have reached the end of a book, but we have simply finished the first chapter. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of you and what you've achieved, and I'm looking forward to see how each and every one of your stories develop. Thank you.
As well as the deputy head students, Tala and Phoebe, for carrying out their demanding roles. They have done so with dedication, humour and enthusiasm. Thank you all. Additionally, I would like to make a special announcement to celebrate the significance of 5 students' time at Repton. 15 years ago, Khalid, Samreen, Cecilia, Baraj and Amar joined Repton Dubai in the nursery class. They have all spent their entire educational journey, 15 years, at Repton Dubai. On Monday, the school's chairman and owner, Mr. Khalid Al-Nahari, met with these students and their families to have a tour of the early years department to reminisce and celebrate their contributions to Repton. It is with great joy I welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Sylvestre, to the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of the Board of Governors of Repton School Dubai, Khalid Al-Nahari. Headmaster, David Cook. And Miss Tracy Crowder, Vice Principal of Head of Senior School. School governors, teachers and staff, and of course, the 2022 graduating students. I'm honored to be here, so thank you. It's great to see you all. Some familiar faces too. I mean, it's not the first time that I've been to a Repton event. After all, 3 of my children are studying here. But let me tell you that I am under strict instruction not to mention the names under any circumstances. So I won't. The last thing I want to do is embarrass my beloved children. So you can relax, okay? Cleo, Mia, and Zach. There is nothing to worry about. Chill. Now, then, there is a lot to get through today. But the school has been very kind in giving me around 3 minutes here on stage. And after thinking about it for some time, I've decided to focus on 3 things. 3 important ideas that I would like you all to think about today. Because today is the beginning of the rest of your life. No pressure then. Okay, the first point I want to stress is the need for you all to dream big. Because listen, you are all graduating from one of the finest schools in the country. And you all have lived and learned in one of the most exciting cities in the world. This school, this city, and this country did not achieve what it has done by thinking inside the box, following orders, or setting the bar low. This city represents ambition and opportunity, and the idea that literally anything is possible. And it's exactly the same for you. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." Everyone here has the knowledge, skills, and talent to succeed. You are the future. So what you are passionate about, find it. Dream big and go for it. The second point I want to focus on is work hard. Now, I know you've all heard this all before, probably a million times before, from teachers, from your parents. I know my children have. And yes, it's simple, but I can't tell you just how important it is. The famous quote from a high school basketball coach was, "Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard." And yes, it's a little cheesy, but it's true. 99.99% of people who are successful in life had to put in some serious work. Hard work works. So does discipline and consistency. It's what successful people do, and you're no different. So put in the work, don't give up, and there is absolutely no reason why you can't achieve something truly special. Okay, I'm nearly done now, and I promise I'll get off the stage soon, Cleo. But I have one final point to make, and I left it to the end because it's the most important. And that's to be a good person. Again, it's a simple one, but that's the one that I hope you never forget. A friend once told me years ago, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I want to think about that, and you too, carefully. People will never forget how you made them feel. Success is important, yes, and achievements, like today, should be celebrated. Of course they should, but don't aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference. True joys come helping others and making a meaningful impact on other people's lives. Life is tough, and at times, it's relentless competition, but please, never lose sight on the importance of being a good person and then helping others. It will serve you well, trust me. So there you have it, 3 points in roughly 3 minutes. I may have gone over the limit, so I apologize everyone. Thank you for listening. I'll head back into the crowd to join all the other proud parents in a sec. I also want to take this moment to say a huge thank you to everyone here at Repton, all the teachers, staff, and obviously this school. You made it the best of all. It can't have been easy the last couple of years. Have been tough for everyone, but you are here. You made it. Each and every one of you represent the future, but for now, enjoy this moment. You deserve it. Thank you very much.
I would now like to welcome Mrs. Tracy Crowder, Vice Principal and Headmistress of the Senior School, to the stage.
Welcome, students, parents, and distinguished guests. The year we graduate from school is momentous. We reflect, we look back, on those memories that we've created. But we are also forced to look forward. Look to the future. For some of you here tonight, you began your school journey at Repton. For others, it was later. Irrespective, your paths joined, and tonight we celebrate you, the class of 2022. It would be remiss of me not to mention this evening that you were actually the first cohort that were impacted by the pandemic. That very last-minute cancellation of your examinations, and I recall with absolute clarity how you responded. Despite the shock, the tears, the mixed emotions, some of you were quite relieved, I recall determination. Determination on a level I have never seen from young people. Now, 2 years later, here you are, the Repton class of 2022. The cohort who, in the most unusual and unprecedented times, responded to change. With determination, you evolved. Things changed and you adapted. You never gave up, you found new ways to move forward. You have paved the way for your peers who have also followed in your footsteps. It is this focus that has defined you as individuals, but as a group. You have been the role models of our school community. And as you move on, we want to acknowledge your legacy. A legacy of dedication, determination, and a sense of hope and optimism. You have shown us that with such qualities, and despite you can achieve success. So as we say our goodbyes, try not to feel sorrow, but consider this. Without the joy and the friendships and the bonds that you have forged, there would be no reason to be sad. Instead, look back with fondness and a smile on your face. And so, to the class of 2022, you are courageous, you are open-minded, they all know where this is going, you are resilient, optimistic, and you are extraordinary. You are, and always will be, Reptonians. Thank you.
It is with great pleasure and pride I will announce the graduating class of 2022. Adatier. Adibambo Agun. Thani Ali. Devika Ajay. Mariam Al-Fada. Khalid Al-Haj. Khalid Al-Kamali. Amira Al-Matawa. Fatma Al-Natur. Mohammed Al-Sama. Obaid Al-Suwaidi. Hamad Al-Zaruni. Sultan Al-Mana. Huthaina Al-Tajir. Asha Aman. Alexandra Anada. Hayley Arjuna. Zaina Ayman. Cecilia Garcia. Malik Bayor. Hamdan bin Salman. B. Blake. Bo Cow. Alana Crandon. Vian Kutsia. Daphne Erkenzensky. Sarah Ezebda. Daphne Farr. Elia Fraley. Leanne Garnett. Alan George. Maximilian Gerst. Zayan Khan. Samreen Khan. Barraj Kohli. Nisreen Kuhail. Sahar Lada. Chen Feng Li. Matilda Lumley. Layli Majidova. Alessia Macedo. Finley Mackay. Amar Mir. Maximilian Mosley. Anna Onazine. Lou Onazine. Karen Oskirk. Unfortunately, Karen is unable to join us this evening. We would still, however, like to congratulate her on her achievements. Abdul Rashid Patel. Tala Ramzan. Shores is unable to join us this evening, we would still, however, like to congratulate him on his achievements. Mark Schmidt. Cleo Sylvestre. Amber Singh. Phoebe Stockton. Khalid Thabet. Danil Tuleyev. Noeed Ulhak. Ibrahim Usmani. Mita Fatnani. Wellington Winston Anchi. May Woolley. Congratulations to you all. I would now like to welcome Repton Dubai's headmaster, Mr. Cook, to deliver his closing remarks.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this very happy occasion. Isn't it great to be meeting in person again and no longer 2 meters apart? We're allowed to be 1 meter apart. I'm going to try something unusual now because apparently we're live streaming from around the world. Can I ask everyone just to look over their left or right shoulder and wave at the camera at the back for all those who are joining us, live streaming from California, from China, and from around the world who are live streaming right now. They're also very welcome to this ceremony. Thank you. What a blessed relief to the class of 2022. The final exams have been completed. No more early morning registration, no more school reports, and results day is still some way off. Thoughts can now turn to travel, to family and friends, and to holidays and adventure. Now, in my view, as I said to a group of families on Monday, those 5 lovely families and those 5 students who've been here for 15 years, a school should be judged not just on exam results, but on the calibre of its leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful young people in the room today that we have just celebrated on the stage. I know that you will share my pride and all the pride of Repton School and families and friends in just looking at the wonderful young people who are graduating this evening. Now this year the school celebrated the 15th year since its foundation. In the early years, the number of graduating students was modest and in single figures. Fast forward 15 years, and this evening there are 67 IB2 graduates. Now next month, we are hosting our first Repton Dubai alumni reunion. On this particular occasion in London, although we are going to do one also in Dubai next year. The first alumni event of its kind, and we sent out invitations to nearly 500 former Repton Dubai pupils. To our IB students graduating this evening, you now join this growing alumni community. So what parting comments can I make to our graduates? I was talking to Mrs. Crowder earlier, looking at our head boy and head girl. There's very little I can add when you meet impressive young people like Daphne and Barash and their incredible speeches, or even the speech from Michael Silvestri, or brilliant advice. Now there's no shortage of advice out there, and far be it from me to give young people who've got the whole lives ahead of them some advice. This is what I picked up from the internet on one or two things you might want to say to graduating students. Graduating is a life-changing experience, a formal end to school and a move into adulthood. And that's why it's both a little bit scary and very exciting. So that's normal, if that's how one is feeling tonight. One or two comments or pieces of advice were a little bit more practical, and some of the parents might recognise some of this advice. One graduating group of students was told to start saving for their retirement now. It's never too early. My brother is a management accountant, and Steve, he always gives that advice. Or how about this important advice? Probably the most important thing you're going to hear this evening: don't forget to call your mother once you've graduated. And finally, from one commentator, please understand that not all adults know what they are doing. It's easy to assume that adults around you have it all figured out. That's often not the case. They're just good at presenting a calm impression. Now, on a more serious note, and a more personal note, if I may, one or two brief observations. First, don't underestimate the power of small things. Politeness, gratitude, courtesy, and good manners. I've always found that a person's character is much more important than their CV. So try and always get the small things right, and you can't go far wrong. And my final piece of advice, well, it's similar most years because I think it's so powerful. It's very interesting. It's picked up also by Michael Silvestri here. Nelson Mandela once told a gathering cohort of students just like you to make a difference. That was his challenge: make a difference with your lives. Now, he spent 27 years in prison. He was entitled, if he wanted to give in to anger and to bitterness, but he was having none of that. This is what he told some graduating students at a very similar occasion as our wonderful event this evening. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we've made to the lives of others that will ultimately determine the significance of the life we have lived. Now, when I was a pupil at school at your age, we had a school motto, which in summary said something very similar. While there is time, let us do good. When you have the opportunity, do good to others. Ladies and gentlemen, what I've learned in spending time with this quite superb graduating cohort is that they are going to make a difference, and they're going to make a difference for the better. You've got a wonderful, exciting time ahead of you. Please do keep in touch with your old school. You will get invited to alumni events. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you will join me in wishing them every success and happiness in the months and years ahead. Thank you.
Distinguished guests and graduate parents to exit the ballroom. We will be serving refreshments in the entrance. This is also a wonderful opportunity for additional photographs to be taken. Once our guests have exited, Our graduates from the class of 2022 will follow after a photograph has been taken on the stage. Thank you and good evening, everybody.
Go to the front.